Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Thank you for coming and welcome to the Dining on Campus session. My name is Joanne. I'm the program assistant here in Dining Services, and I'm going to be sharing my screen with you here in just a second, and we're going to go through the presentation. And if you can hold your questions to the end, I will get to them, and we'll have a good time here. So let me share my screen with you and get the presentation up and running, and we will get it going. All right. So dining on campus is what we're here to talk about. Oops, I hit the wrong one. Hi, Carter. How are you doing today? Hi, folks. How are we doing? Welcome to the dining session. Hi, Bailey, Michelle, Carter. I'm going to share my screen here in just a minute with you, and we'll get to going. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the dining on campus session, and it'll be about 15-20 minutes, and then I will open it up at the very end for questions. So if you have questions, either throw them in the chat or just hold off and remember them, and we will get this going. All right, I'm going to share my screen for you. All right. To start out with, I want to tell you all about us. And so we are a whole department here on campus who is comprised of a lot of things. So most of the time when you visit college campuses, you see the dining portion of it, of course, the dining rooms, but we're much more. So we're the retail, the catering, the concessions. We have vending all over campus. And then we have two pieces here at UNC that I don't think a lot of people know about. One is the senior nutrition program, and that is in Weld County here. If you know about any of the senior living locations, we actually feed 23 locations. They get fed out of our dining room here in Toby Kendall. So that's a really cool thing. And then this year we have a charter school here in Greeley that needed a building to house their school in for a year. So we have a whole bunch of little humans here in this building right now, and they'll be here through the end of May with us. So we also have them. So we feed little kids and we feed big kids. So that's a good thing. The next place we're going to go, because I am not, there we go. There we go. Meal plans. So when you live on campus here at UNC, you are required to carry a meal plan. So as a first year student, you have a couple choices, and then as a sophomore and above, you have a couple choices. We do, of course, with every rule, have an exception, and that is for sophomores and above living in Lawrence, Arlington, and the UNC-owned houses. And what that means is once you hit that status, you get more options. And so we'll go over those in just a sec. And then living off campus, if you live off campus, you're open to anything. You can have anything we offer. So you're free pretty much when you live on campus to have anything. So our on-campus meal plans are changing this coming year. So anything that you can see online right now is what we currently have. And this is legitimately what they're going to be next year. So like I said, first year students, you have a couple options. We are moving to what we lovingly call the block meal plan system. And so it is a block of meals plus a block of dining dollars. You can see the first year students have the 300 and the 250 option. And then if you are a sophomore or above, you do have a couple more options. So the sophomores can also get the 300 and the 250, but they do have those other two options of the 150 and the 125. If you are off campus, like I mentioned, we do have some transfer students here at Destination today. If you are a transfer student and you are living off campus or in one of the exception locations that are listed right there, you do get to choose from anything. And so we do have off-campus bear plans that are smaller packages with dining dollars added to them. So that's just a remember that those are here situation if you are eligible for those. I actually work in the main office, and so I answer the phone calls a lot, and I am the keeper of the email here. And I get a lot of questions, and I added this slide in because I wanted to touch on just a couple of those. We have a new meal plan system that just came in July, so it's still fairly new. But there is a dining portal that you can go into when you want to add a meal plan or dining dollars or change your meal plan. And it is mydining.unco.edu, and it will be open about 30 days prior to the semester starting. So that's about the end of July-ish in there. And then again for spring, it would be probably the beginning of December, end of November-ish in there. It just depends on when the semester starts and all of that. But that's where you would go, and it's about 30 days out that you'll need to start thinking about dining. The other question we get a lot of is, do I have to keep what I have? And once you sign up for a meal plan, you have 10 days at the beginning of every semester to make a decision, and you can adjust your meal plan up through those deadlines. And so for fall, it is September 1st. You can make that decision. And then in January, it will be for spring. A good reminder with meal plans is that meal plans are good for one semester only. So I just don't want you to go into thinking, I don't want you to go into this thinking that the 300 meal plan, like I showed just a second ago, is good for both semesters. It is not. It is good for one semester. We do have an exception with dining dollars, which we will get into in a bit. Dining dollars to carry over from fall to spring. So that's a cool thing. It is fun to not have to lose your dining dollars at the end of the semester if you have them. But meals, just remember, are good for one semester only. So where do you use your meal swipes? We have one location on campus right now, Holmes Dining Hall. It's our main dining hall, and it is our all you care to eat location. So once you swipe in, if you feel like eating 12 plates of pizza, you are welcome to. I don't know that I would recommend that, but you are welcome to do that. We have a couple to-go locations. One of them is called Bear on the Run, and that's not a location, it's a program. I will show you a slide of that as well in just a second, but Holmes and Toby Kendall are the locations that you can use those. And then we have one that I lovingly refer to as the Cold to Go program, and that is Bear Simply to Go, and that's in Campus Commons. And it is, it's a convenience location, if you will. You get salads and sandwiches and stuff like that, and they have coffee there, that sort of thing. And then there's one other thing called a meal exchange, and what it is you can use 5 of your meal swipes per week at eligible locations, and you can get a bundle of food in there. So we have 4 locations that will be eligible next year. So these are for next year. These are our brand new locations at the University Center, Bowlful, Burger & Co., Cristal Latin Kitchen, and Empire State Pizza. They all have a bundle of what you can get with that meal swipe. You can pay cash there, you can pay dining dollars, but you can use a meal exchange there if you want to, up to 5 times a week. Bear on the Run is a sustainable program that we have here, and this green container that I'm showing you is legitimately the green container that we have. There's a $5 opt-in charge, and you can pay with your dining dollars if you want. So you all are getting a lot of dining dollars at the beginning of the semester, so feel free to use your dining dollars if you want to, so it really won't cost you anything out of pocket cash-wise. Again, once you go into Holmes or TK and you want to get, Holmes is your all you care to eat. So really it's more Holmes than anything. If you want to get a couple spicy baked salmon fillets and sides and a drink, you can, and desserts and salads and whatever you want to get is up to you. The rule is as long as the lid closes, you can take it out. We have some fun stories about students kind of challenging that rule and seeing what they can get away with, but they closed the box so they were able to take it. So the thing about this, what makes it sustainable is that we ask you to, when you take it out, eat your food, take it home, take it to class, whatever you need to do. But when you're done, wipe it out and bring it back to us and swap us for a new one. If you don't want to use it right then and there, you don't have to. We will trade you for a carabiner if you want to actually come in the dining room at that point. And you can swap the carabiner the next time so that you don't have to purchase another box the next time you come in. So it's a really cool option. So Bear Simply To Go is the one I was saying that I lovingly refer to as the cold to go option. And this slide shows you the salad that we offer, one of the salads, two of the sides and a drink. And so I get a lot of students that say, is that enough food? And yeah, I think so. I think it is. If you want to switch out your sides and switch out your drinks and all that, you're welcome to choose anything you want that's there. One of the cool things about Simply To Go in Campus Commons is that our pastry chef, she works up at the University Center. She does a lot of creative things and she really likes to play with new items. She made Pop-Tarts the other day, and that was a really cool thing. But she usually takes them over to Simply To Go to see how students like them and to see how they will go before we actually put them into the menu rotation. So you do get to try a lot of fun things when you're over at Simply To Go. So it's a good place to visit. I get a lot of questions about like, how do I know what's being served in the dining room? Well, we have an app for that. There's always an app, right? So the Everyday app is what we have, and it is when you go to the Play Store, whatever store you go to, it's the gray box with the white E right there. And you can check out our menus in the dining rooms. And then we have a cool feature where you can pre-order some items at some of our retail shops. Einstein's and Subway are two prime examples of that. We get Einstein's gets pretty busy in the morning, and so you'll see a line of 10 students standing there. Well, if you had pre-ordered, you could literally cut the line, go grab your stuff and be on your way. So the pre-ordering is a pretty good thing. It's a fun thing to do. Dining dollars. So really, what are dining dollars? So your meal plan comes with meals, right? And it comes with dining dollars. Dining dollars basically is a dollar for dollar program, just like you have a gift card for Target that's dollar for dollar. It's the same thing. So you get a bucket of dollars and you can use them wherever you want. You can use them in our retail locations. If you buy food and beverage items, we don't charge you tax on them. So I lovingly use fuzzy math with this, and I realize that, but I always tell people that we're saving you 7% when you use dining dollars at our retail locations, because we don't charge you tax and our tax rate is 7%. So there's your fuzzy math. You can also use them in the dining rooms if you want. Like I said, you can buy your Bear on the Run container. You can also pay cash prices at the door with your dining dollars. I don't see a lot of students doing this, but it is a possibility. You have plenty of meal swipes to use. So if you for some reason were to run out of meal swipes, you are more than welcome to pay cash prices with your dining dollars. And then again, like I mentioned earlier, just remember your dining dollars carry from fall to spring. So if you come to December and you have $100 dining dollars left that you haven't used, they will follow you over to January. So don't worry about running out of those. They will follow you. This is literally just to show you how many operations we have in the University Center right now. We have a ton. So this is just a visual representation. We have a lot of stuff going on at the University Center. And in January, we just opened 4 of them. So those are still bright and shiny and actually very popular. Our Burger & Co. is probably the most popular, and the Empire State Pizza are probably the 2 that are the most popular up there. Our students seem to really love those 2 locations. Across campus, we have plenty of other options. When you go to Holmes Dining Hall, you will notice that there's a Starbucks in the building. So we do have Starbucks back on campus. If you possibly have an older friend, relative, parent, whatever, who was on campus here 15 years ago, they would have said, well, there was a Starbucks location. yes, there was a Starbucks location, then they went away, but then they're back. So we're super happy to have them back. Students love Starbucks. So we also have a coffee shop in Michener Library. And like I said, any of the vending on campus is dining dollars accessible as well, and cash and credit, but you can also use your dining dollars there, which is fun. These are fun, our mobile food carts. So we got these fall of this last year, so fall of 22. These are the cutest little carts ever. So they're mini food carts. You can kind of see how big they are. And one of them is the hot cart and one of them is the cold cart. So the blue one has ice cream and it's like a sundae bar, if you will. And then the yellow one has grilled items, which you can see Chef Mitchell. They're grilling up some burgers during our grand opening. So those are fun too. You can use your dining dollars. I believe they're going to have a meal exchange option for the mobile food carts as well. I just don't know what it's going to be or if it's official yet, but you should be able to use your meal exchange at the mobile food carts. And so the only thing about the food carts is that it has to be at least 40 degrees out consistently, 45 maybe, for a couple of days for them to be out because they're electric vehicles, and our little pipes in there will freeze. And so we have not been able to have them out yet this semester. They are getting them ready to come out in the next couple of weeks, but they're more situated for fall, but they will be out and they will be available. A couple of things to think about. When I was a student, I wasn't very smart and I scheduled myself horribly. I scheduled myself from like 8 to 2, no breaks, no lunch breaks, no potty breaks, no nothing. So I always recommend students look at what the hours are for your dining options. They are online. They will always be updated online. As soon as I ever get anybody that says, you know, let's say Subway's closing early for something, I always put it online. So whatever's online on the dining services website will be current. Remember, we are not open for holidays and breaks. And what I mean by that is we will not be open for Thanksgiving. We also are not open during the Christmas holiday winter break. We are also not open during spring break. So there are some breaks and some holidays that we are not open. So you just need to know that if you are staying on campus during those times, during those times, you just need to know that you will need to make accommodations on your own, which isn't a big deal, but I just want to make sure that you all know. Questions. So if you have questions in the dining rooms, what we recommend is that you ask for a manager or a chef. We always have a manager on staff and or on in-house right there. And we always have a chef on site. So please don't be shy. Please don't be afraid to ask questions. I'd like to tell the story of a parent who called me. It was late in the semester, last semester. It was probably I would say mid-November, and they were very angry that we weren't serving milk. And so I just had this puzzled thought, and I was like, we serve milk every day. I don't know what's going on. And so she went on to say that her daughter could not find the milk in our dining room. And so I asked the manager what was up with that. I called the manager and I said, what's going on? And she said, we moved the milk and put a sign on the milk dispenser that the milk had been moved because we were having problems getting the supply in. And so they moved it to a different cooler because they were having to get actual gallon jugs. And so I called the parent back and I explained it. And I said, you know, if your daughter ever has that question, please have her ask because we could have fixed it right then and there for her. And she didn't have to wait 2 months thinking that we didn't have milk. And so she couldn't have cereal. And so that sort of thing. So please feel free to ask. We are more than happy to help. Speaking of helping, we have a registered dietitian on staff. His name is Matthew Doyle. And in this picture, you can see he's sitting there with a bunch of chocolate covered strawberries, which is delightful. That was during Valentine's Day. He was telling us how dark chocolate is lovely for everybody. And so he had strawberries for everybody. If you have a dietary issue or an allergy or anything that you need to let us know, Matthew is so willing to help you figure out how to navigate the dining room. We have a lot of gluten-free students and they get a little bit frustrated sometimes when they can't find the gluten-free stuff on their own. Well, we hide the gluten-free stuff. It's not to be mean, it's not to do anything like that. It's mainly because it's really expensive to replace frequently when you see cross-contamination or cross-contact happening. So the general population doesn't need to be in the gluten-free items, only the gluten-free people do. And so we hide them a little bit so that they're just not out in general population. Once you know where they are, feel free to go get them, feel free to do whatever you want. But Matthew can help you with that. He can tell you where it's at. A manager can help you, a chef can help you. Just ask us, we're happy to help you with that. So it is not just food. So dining when you're on campus, we also have a lot of events. I like to show our spring event calendar, and I actually updated it with our April calendar here, just to show you that we have a lot of stuff going on. We call them pop-ups. We have events that this one that I'm showing you was a chicken and waffles one. We had a Taste of San Francisco. We literally just this last week had the Flavors of South Africa. It's called a global chef event, where a chef from another country will train our chefs on how to make the food from their country. And so this one was a very, very cool option that we had. So we have a lot of different options for students. It's not just a cafeteria, go sit in and eat. We do have other stuff going on. A lot of stuff that students like. I know on certain days, like I see pretzel days coming up at the end of April here. I'm pretty sure they're going to have soft pretzels in the dining room for that day. So they'll have some fun things working for us. So we rely on students to operate. And so we hire about 300 to 400 students every year. And we need students. So if you want to come work for us, please come work for us. We usually hire students about $1 over minimum, whatever the university is paying students, which is usually minimum wage 9 times out of 10. But we, because we are managed by a different company, we are able to hire students at just a little bit higher of a rate. So definitely come work for us. We have perks for working for us. One of them is we feed you. So we do have that, but we do love our students. So please come work for us. You don't have to be work study, but we love work study students. Work study, non-work study, we don't care. We just want you to come work for us. Here's the one for parents that they don't like me on. So when parents call, I get to tell you no, and please don't be mad at me for saying that, because I am not allowed to tell you any information about your students' meal plan. And that has to do with FERPA and HIPAA laws. So I've got some federal laws going on here. FERPA technically is, it's a little gray on dining areas, but HIPAA is for medical stuff, and that actually does apply. Dining can be considered medical for a lot of students. So general rule is I can give you basic information. I can't give you any specifics. I can't run any reports for you, but here's the thing. Your student can look at their account. Your student can ask me for anything that they need. So I recommend talking to your student. So just know that I can't do anything for you. Like you used to be able to look at their high school stuff and whatever. I just can't give you that. So just know that I have my hands tied. I can't break those rules, but I always tell people, if you're nice to me, I will be nice to you, and I will try and bend the rules as much as possible. For example, if the answer is 30, I might tell you something about it's between 20 and 40. So I'm going to help you as much as I possibly can, but just know that I can't actually give you details. So just know that it's nothing big, but you have plenty of opportunity to ask your students and work with your students on this. So, and then our final slide, see, I told you it wouldn't be that bad. Our final slide is the information about how to contact us. So you can always look at our website. It should have all the information you need. If it doesn't, please email us. Like I mentioned earlier on, I legitimately am the one who keeps the email account. So I'm a real person. I'm here, it's me. You're always welcome to call us. Andrea is probably going to be the one answering the phone, but I also pick up the line, so you could get me there. And then again, the portal is, oh, I made it go away, so sorry. And then the portal is at mydining.unco.edu. So it is a good thing to have all that information. Just make sure you remember to check in with us when you get ready and having all their questions. And I see we have questions in the chat. So let me answer that one in just a second here. I am actually going to stop recording here in just a second so we can get that going and then we can answer all your questions. So let me stop.